Thank you guys for joining us today and taking some time from your day to sit and listen on the Diadora story. We appreciate that. And then anyone that's joining later, thank you guys for taking the time to jump in and just learn and listen a little bit more about Diadora and see what's going on. My name is Chuck Day. I'm one of our regional sales managers. And on the call with us from Diadora right now is Alex Feldman, who is one of the other sales managers. He'll be speaking about the Spring 21 footwear line and kind of walking through that in a few minutes. And then with Brian Porter on the call, who a lot of you guys know, he's our GM of North America. And he's going to share about the brand story and kind of go over where really the sort of the basics of the Diadora story and what we're trying to do. So what we'll do today for the next 20-30 minutes is Brian will start and go through that, and then Alex will walk us through the Spring 21 footwear line, which is the footwear that we're the selling cycle that we're in right now. So yeah, so again, I appreciate it. There'll be a few pauses in here that we can open up to any questions, and then if you have any questions at the end, those of you that are live, we can take those. And then if you aren't live, we'll share our presentation that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. And on the bottom of that is all of the contact information for how to get a hold of us. So you can follow up that way if you have anything that you want to bring up with us. So with that, without further ado, I'll turn it over to Brian. Brian, it's all yours.
Before we get into product, I just want to give you a little overview of 5 minutes on Diadora, where we've been, where we're going. So, Diadora at its heyday was the '1 tennis account in the US for 15 years, #2 soccer account behind Adidas for 12 years, and was really known globally for other things like skiing and running and hiking. Hasn't been prevalent, hasn't had a US headquarters since 1997. I got hired 4 years ago to relaunch Diadora USA. The difference between the Diadora of the past and the Diadora of the future is that the brand now is all technical running. Everybody from our director of sport, who's Delina Bourdin, who won the Olympics in 1988, down to our event manager is a 207 marathoner. Our export person is a bronze medalist at the Olympics. So all these things, right? It's all runners now. So the future of our brand is technical running. So when you think about all of this 70 years of sport know-how, the next focus is running. And really, we feel like it's also the biggest opportunity. We feel like there's this big opening to be a true partner in the space. We fundamentally believe that the way to grow and the biggest opportunity is to partner with retail. So, when we think about how a brand can connect to a consumer, if we want to connect in Western Mass, I could go put up, billboards on the highway. I could go do direct mail. I could do all this stuff. But it's really the consumer comes into your store, wants to lose 10 pounds, wants to, run 4 hours in a marathon, whatever it is, that you curate, create this relationship with, and start to tell our story to your customer. It's that partnership that is the most valuable thing. So we've set up not only the product line, which Alex will bring you through in a second, but we've really set up a partnership that doesn't exist in the industry. We don't discount our product. The MAP policy on our product is 3 years, which is really important. So like an old color of something won't show up online discounted. Our shoes are our technical running shoes, not style, not for 6 months. All of our technical running shoes are only sold to running stores. So the only people who are allowed to resell those shoes are you guys. And the last thing is on our.com specifically, if we happen to sell a pair, we give you a percentage of that sale. So the idea is that we're growing together, we're building consumers together, and we're keeping consumers together. So that you don't create consumer for X shoe, which you are the person who could do it, and then they buy another pair from me, they buy their second pair from another place for 30% off, et cetera, et cetera. We control that thing, which is a huge statement, we have a little bit of a luxury because we got to look at the landscape of the way everybody's operating, where we think the future is going to be, and how we could position our brand to be the best partner. And this is the program we put together. The other side is like, we're building a brand, Tim, that doesn't exist. So you could see a lot of brands. You could say, do a run brand like this, do a lifestyle brand like this, do a tennis brand like this. But the way we're setting up our MAP policy, the way we're positioning our brand, the way we're building our product, you'll start to see in like end of 21, 22, it's going to be this premium thing in our space that doesn't exist yet, which is really cool for me. Loving product, loving the history of the sport, all these things. It's a really, really cool endeavor. So, I know you're just getting product in. We thank you for joining with us. And maybe you've seen some of this stuff before, maybe you haven't, but Alex will take you through like kind of next phase of our development. And if you happen to be down 95 a couple miles, we're in South Philly. Come visit we have a museum, North American headquarters here that we're very proud of. Come down anytime. We'd love to host you.
What I want to do is kind of touch on our 4 key styles here that we have for spring 21, and as well as the technology story here at Diadora. So the first 3 shoes I'm going to show you have a story of what's called Blue Shield. And so that is our cushioning technology, and I have a cutout of it right here. What is really unique and different about this technology is it's adaptive. So each one of these pods is going to individually adapt to the way your foot strikes the ground and interacts with a footbed. So if we have somebody that overpronates a little bit or is supinated on one side, what these pods will do is contour to that foot and prevent overcorrection while keeping, will correct the foot that's overpronating while keeping the other foot in a neutral position. And so all of these pods are adaptive. So as you get closer to the medial malleolus, right in the arch area, those get firmer and closer together. And then in the heel of the shoe and then in the forefoot of the shoe, they're softer and farther apart. So Chuck, if you could go ahead and share the screen with us here, and I'll get into the footwear side, style-wise. So the first shoe we're going to talk about here is the Volo. This is a shoe we're all really, really excited about. This is going to early launch on October 15th with a wide release January 1st. So this will be priced at right at $135 on the guy's side. It's going to weigh in right about 10 ounces. On the ladies' side, 8 ounces. It's got a lot of ground contact right through the midfoot. Nice broad base here. Nice rounded toe box. And again, utilizing that Blue Shield technology, it's going to provide our lightest and most responsive ride to date. At $135, this is our hip option right there on the screen. So the logoing and then the taping right here around the heel collar, that's going to be 3M reflective. So if you're running in low light situations, when a car's headlight hits the shoe, it's going to really pop and draw attention to itself. Throughout the upper, we're going to have some nice open mesh, especially right through the bunion windows, not a lot of overlays. Some really soft eye stays that are going to cinch down on the midfoot without being too constrictive, and a really soft plush collar lining right around the collar of the shoe that goes right into the tongue. So we've got this white here for men, and then this is going to be the hero colorway here. Nice little blue contrasting here on the medial side, and then some yellow pop surrounding the collar.
Hey Tim, maybe you know some of this, but the one interesting thing about the way we develop product, which is a little bit different, we have a factory, we have a production facility at our headquarters in Cairano di San Marco, Italy, that's been there for 70 years. So, we have the capability to not only develop, but do all of our testing in-house, which is, so, if we start out with this shoe, we start out with a couple lasts, we go for a 2K run, we come back, we adjust the toe box, we go out for a 2K run, we adjust the durometer. I mean, all these things we do in-house. So it gives you, when you're developing product, there's a very artisanal process that doesn't really exist, because you have to send a sample back to Vietnam, they send it back, et cetera, et cetera. But having this factory on house is super valuable when you look at the connection and as close you could be to actually development of the product, which for me is like a super benefit to this process. So that's cool.
Absolutely. And then next up, we've got the Mythos 6. So this is just going to be a small upper update to our best-selling shoe, the Mythos 5. We've really softened up some of the mesh, some of the collar lining, and really a great aesthetic upper update. This is a January 1 release. Again, utilizing that Blue Shield technology, this is going to be a really, really plush step-in feel. So for somebody that really likes a lot underneath their foot, that just wants to feel cushion all day, mile after mile, this is going to be a fantastic option. We've got 3 colorways, and then we also have that hip option, which has that reflective call out. Again, really nice open mesh throughout the overlays. So no discomfort, no rubbing, and broad through the midfoot, nice round toe box that fits a lot of different foot types. Priced at $145, again, a January 1 release date here. Mm-hmm. And then to round out the Mythos line, and just to touch a little bit on what Brian was talking about earlier, anything that has a Mythos in front of it, that's our tier 1 run specialty product. So you're only gonna be able to find that in brick and mortar run specialty stores. So the Elite TRX, this is our take on stability. The way we've positioned this is going back to that Blue Shield, we've added a steeper contour in the footbed. So that paired with the lateral release on the heel is going to slow the rate of pronation and keep even severe pronators in a neutral position, while also providing that really soft step-in feel that Blue Shield achieves. On the ladies' side, we're going to have 1 colorway right there on the left of your screen, and then on the men's side, we'll have a blue as well as a gray option. Mm-hmm. And all 3 of these models are going to be on a 10mm drop across our line. And again, that paired with the Blue Shield we think these 3 shoes are going to be able to fit 80 to 90% of the customers that walk through your door. And then the last shoe I want to talk about with you guys, this is something we're really, really excited about. This is going to be kind of, we're taking a lot from our past. We went into the archives, dug up one of the first running shoes we actually produced called the Akip. And so we've taken some design elements of that and then brought that with 2020 technology. So this is going to be, the best way I could describe it is a track spike for the road. Something you want to lace up and really get after it with. So taking those design elements and then using modern technology, we've added a P-back plate in between, best way I can describe it is a bouncy foam that provides for a really fast, responsive feel. You're getting a lot of ground contact to the midfoot, and then the way the P-back plate works, you're gonna get a ton of spring as you get through the gait cycle. So from contact to mid-stance to propulsion phase, you're not on the ground for very long, and you're getting pushed forward. This we're going to launch March 1st. This will be priced at $150. We will have 2 unisex colorways, and then we'll also have a women's specific fit in a B width. For the unisex colorways, we have a white and then a really striking black option. And then on the ladies' side, you can see there on the bottom left, a really, really cool and clean colorway. You know, this isn't going to be for absolutely everybody that walks in your store, but where I think this lives is somebody that, you know, has an everyday trainer and then something for race day. And then also for your runners that are training for shorter distances. I think any high school runner that's running anything from the 100 through the 800, this is a really good option for an everyday trainer. It's going to be able to stand up to the drills they're doing, hurdle work, and then also the track work they're doing when they're not wearing a spike. Again, March 1st release, 8 ounces on the guy's side, 6.5 on the ladies. So we have a really short, you know, we have 4 really key styles, and we think this fits most of the customers that are walking through your door. We don't want to get super SKU heavy. We don't want you to have to special order things because then you're losing margin. So we want just a really clear and concise product line. And these 4 SKUs or these 4 styles really help us hit that, I think. So
Alex, can you bring on that shoe, since it's such a unique kind of offering, can you bring it a little closer to the camera? And yeah, perfect. That's really helpful to see it.
And you can see the P-back plate right there, and that's going to run from here all the way through the heel there. And it really provides a nice spring back. There's a lot of other players in this area, but at $150, I think there is a place for this, and we're really excited to see how it does in the marketplace.
Alex, thanks for going through the line. This is our Spring 21 collection, which is what we're in season booking now. But the last couple slides I have on the slideshow are just breaking down the Diadora territory and like the territory reps. So here's our breakdown. Tim, I know you already know Nick, and
Yep.
Nick's awesome.
He's a good guy.
That's the chunk of the country that we have covered, that we have him covering for us.
Yep.
So which looks like the smallest territory, but it's also the most populated. So there's that breakdown with all of our contact information below. So we're actively looking for new accounts as we continue to grow, and we found a lot of really great partners across the country, and we continue to look for more. So if this is something that strikes your fancy, and Tim, obviously not really speaking to you here, but this video will live online. We want to talk to you, and we want to learn about your business and share more about ours. So feel free, please reach out and connect with us, and we'll go from there.